Hello, this is Howard Teaserking coming to you with week 2 of college football. Had a nice week last week. The lock, Baylor, Mississippi State, winning 94-0. Baylor would have won by more, but their quarterback got hurt at halftime. They looked great. Mississippi State looked great, and that's the way the lock should go. Some more big games this week in college. Nothing locked in college, but there are pro lock, which I'll talk about in my pro picks. Quick recap of week 1. My thoughts. Texas A&M, I think, just shows you it's the coach and the scheme, which is what we're looking for, because the players come and go, and then the program goes down. So I like the A&M with their scheme. They'll be pretty good. Mississippi looked really good, beating Boise. Penn State, I thought that would happen against UCF. They look good. Texas San Antonio beating Houston, and now yesterday they played Arizona real tight. So there's a nice sleeper, Texas San Antonio. When they get in the conference, look out for them. Let's see. Cal looks fairly good. They got Sonny Dykes. He was the coach at Louisiana Tech. It's a pretty good offensive mind. I look for Cal to be a big dog a lot this year. Depending on who, they should be sneak up on teams. Alabama, West Virginia. I didn't like Alabama's quarterback. They'll be weaker. West Virginia looks okay. They're in a tough conference. Nothing too much there. Arkansas, Auburn. It was a game 21-21 at half. Then Auburn decided to play. I like Auburn. Very explosive. Very hard to stop. I like them. We talked about Mississippi, Florida State, and all that was. Oak State's not bad. You get them on a neutral field. They're not an ACC team. Florida State shows another weakness with the running quarterback. Gave up 31 points. They only scored 37. So against better teams, we'll see how they progress. But last year they had a weak schedule, and when the game's at home, it's different than a neutral site against a good team. So that was about what I thought. LSU, Wisconsin. Funny story on this one. LSU's laying 4.5, 3.5. I'm at the Venetian. Some kid shows me bet 12 grand on the game. Took LSU plus minus 3.5, -4, and I'm just looking at him like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing betting this game? And he ended up winning because the running back on Wisconsin goes out, and and they don't really have a quarterback, so they get lucky and win the game. And I look at him. You got a miracle. You should have lost this game, but you're on the wrong game. You should be on Mississippi State. You should be on Baylor, Auburn. You got to get to those teams. And so I gave him Baylor, which was on the next day. So hopefully he won another 12 grand. But it was just. It's all about matchups. It's all about who to play and who not to play. And so that's the key here. And then Georgia, Clemson. Georgia looked really good. The running back looks great. We'll be playing Georgia a lot. So right now, like I said in week 1, I want to see the teams. I want to see the quarterback. All right, Texas A&M. Nobody could predict that. Now you have a feel of them. You have a feel on certain teams, what they're doing. Mississippi State, that's what I thought they were. Auburn looks good. Alabama doesn't, but maybe they'll get better. So you just keep looking around there. Anyway, let's talk about week 2. And let's go down the board here. I've got huge game here. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about UAB, Mississippi State. Now, the reason I took Mississippi State in the first week was they're very strong at home, playing Southern Miss, who's terrible, and Mississippi State must win the game. And it's the same thing here. They're playing UAB. They must win the game. UAB, though, I don't know. They scored a lot of points their first week. They put up like 42, which was surprising, even though it was a high school team they played. But I still like Mississippi State laying the 22, just for the fact that they have to win. They look good. They got a good quarterback. The defense looked good. So we'll see. And this is when it gets a little confusing, is when you beat up on a weak team. And when you beat up on the weak team, you don't really know how good you are. So it gives a false sense of either they're really good or they're not as good, or the other team's really bad. So you've got to see them a few weeks. So let's see how UAB plays Mississippi State before we see, yeah, UAB's back. But right now I like Mississippi State in a must-win game. And that's what you're looking for. They're much stronger than UAB, and they should pound them. Stanford, USC. I don't know. Again, USC looks good against Fresno State, who didn't have Derek Carr, who's #1. He's starting for Oakland. I don't know. This is normally, you'd probably take the dog here. Probably be a close game. Stanford lost their defensive coordinator to Vanderbilt. I think the coach has been living off of Harbaugh guys. So I think Stanford might not be as strong. And I don't know how good the coach is coaching without Harbaugh's guys. USC looked really good in their first game. I think this will be a close game. I would take USC in 8.5, 9 points there. Mississippi laying 20 to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt looked terrible, getting pounded by Temple, and Mississippi killed Boise. So you would think Mississippi would be the play here, and I would think it might be a little closer, but I do like Mississippi. But not, I don't know, 20 is a little bit much. Not really crazy about it, but I like them a little bit. All right, let's get to my big game, one of my big games, and I'm going to give it to you because I'm a nice guy. Oregon laying 12.5, 13 to Michigan State. In Vegas, Sunday night, at Caesars, no line. I'm like, oh, what are you waiting for? We're not going to put it up till Tuesday. Oh, Tuesday? So I checked my internet and I see it's at the Wynn. So I basically run to the Wynn before they close to make this bet. Oregon minus 12.5 to Michigan State. Who would you pick? Well, everybody thinks offense beats defense, but as I've told you time and time again, as we all know, defense always beats offense because defense can shut down offense. But what Michigan State has as a kicker is their offense will dominate Oregon when they have the ball with Cook and Langford. If you're looking at Michigan State scoring in the 30s. So you get 18 points, that's 50. Is Oregon going to put up 50 on that defense? No freaking way. No way. That's a pro defense, and that's not even that's a good pro defense Michigan State has. Now, first of all, they've seen this offense from Ohio State. Secondly, they saw it last week against Jacksonville State. Now, granted, it's not the same, but it's still, they're practicing against that offense. They've seen how Stanford stops it. They've seen how LSU have stopped it. When Oregon gets in against a physical, fast defensive team, they fold up. They don't score. They lost to Auburn. They lost, what did they win? The Rose Bowl barely against, I think, Wisconsin. You get them in a big game with a big defense, all they do is they run the same play and they're passing. And Michigan State's ends will not allow this to happen. Michigan State wins this game straight out. I took the points. I teased it with my lock. My lock's the pros. And I wanted to bet the money line on it. That's how sure I am about this game. They wouldn't let me. They said, well, we don't give money lines on spreads this high, thinking I wanted Oregon. And I said, no, no, no. Give me the 480 on the money line on Michigan State. But they wouldn't let me at the Win. That's the play here. Michigan State wins this game. Let's going to say 38-24. Right in that area. Oregon will score a little. Michigan State will dominate. Langford will pound them. I know he's a little banged up, but I think he'll be fine. Cook took a big hit on the knee, but he played after that. I think he'll be fine. Good luck, Oregon, stopping Michigan State's offense, first of all. Secondly, I watched Michigan State a lot, and against Ohio State and in that Rose Bowl. Good luck trying to score on them. They might score, like I said, they'll get in the 20s, but I got 18.5 points in Michigan State. And that's all I need, 7. Believe me, Michigan State is for real. Cook, Langford, good receivers. Forget about it. Michigan State wins this game straight out. I don't care where the game's at Oregon and the big crowd and the noise. Doesn't matter. Michigan State beat Ohio State. They've beaten Michigan several times in the big games, in the big house. and they won at the Rose Bowl. What else would you like? This isn't the team that lost to Alabama or or one of the Georgias or whoever in the New Year's Day Bowl. This is a much better defense. Top 3 defense in the country. 2 or 3 first rounders right in their defensive line. They have an All-American defensive end, an All-American safety, and an All-American corner, I think. There's 3 of them there. They didn't lose much. They rotate their defensive line, and the linebackers will be fine. They did lose Bulla, but they played without him in the Rose Bowl and had no problem. So, love this one. And think about it like this. They scored 24 points on this on Stanford in the Rose Bowl with Shane Scove and all the big guys. So they can put up 24 points there on them. What do you think they're going to do to Oregon, who lost their defensive coordinator and is not as sharp? So I look for Michigan State to be in the 30s. You get 18. Oh, good luck. I mean, this one is, almost a lock, very close to it. I thought about it, but I'm just going to play it real strong. Next game, let's go to Michigan, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's laying 4 to Michigan. Very tough here because Michigan is a great home favorite, but they're a lousy road team. These games are pretty close. Michigan won big last year. I think Notre Dame won 13-6 2 years ago in Notre Dame. And the problem here is Gardner at quarterback for Michigan. He's lousy. He throws too many interceptions. Yes, Michigan looked good against App State, which we had. Teaserking picked it. But it was, it was a weak defensive team. Notre Dame, I'm not sure. They lost a lot to the pros. I think these teams are fairly even. I would lean to probably take Michigan in the points here, but it's a good game to watch and get a feel for the teams. But I think it'll be a close game. I think I'd take Michigan in this, but not a lot, just to watch. Oklahoma laying 24 to Tulsa. I like Oklahoma here. Tulsa's terrible. Oklahoma should put it up. It's not the normal game that I don't feel Oklahoma has to win. The reason I like Mississippi State is because they got to play Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Mississippi in their divisions. That's 4 games they'll probably lose. That's why they have to beat the Southern Misses and the UABs and everything. Oklahoma, on the other hand, all right, they're going to have a tough game with Baylor. Looks like they'll have a tough game with Oak State and Texas. Those 3 and, maybe Kansas State, maybe. So they got 3 tough games. So that's the difference here. Is they don't need it as badly as the others, but I think they get it. And we'll go one more game. We'll go UCLA's laying 24 to Memphis. I like UCLA here. I made a comment last week. Had the game not been at noon on the East Coast, I would have taken UCLA against Virginia. But I warned everybody, you got to watch that travel. But I also said if UCLA's home in this game, I would definitely jump on UCLA. That's what you have. Memphis, average team, nothing great. UCLA's at home. I think it's a cheap spread, 24. You lay the 18. They didn't offensively look very good last week at Virginia, but their defense got 3 touchdowns. So I look for the defense to shut out Memphis, and they'll put up about 35, 40 points on Memphis at home. I think they'll get going. So these are my picks. I don't play them all, but I want to give advice on them. Anybody needs advice on a game I didn't mention, please feel free to send me a comment or an email. Right now I'm just looking for the teams that we're going to start pounding. There's a couple of teams I've seen that I can't wait to pound away at once we get going. But definitely the pick of the day will be Michigan State against Oregon. And I think that's easy. You can play it with, why don't you play it with UCLA? But there's your game of the week. I think I made a comment at Caesars last week. I said, this is Alabama going to Oregon. Would you expect them to get 12.5, and what would you do? And the kid says, well, they're not Alabama. Yeah, they're better than Alabama. Michigan State is a great defense, a balanced offense, good quarterback, and a good running back. That's all you want. Good coach, good defense, quarterback, a balanced offense, run. That's the team. We'll be loading up on Michigan State all year unless the spread jumps up to them. Right now, this spread should be Oregon by 6, no more. Maybe 7. That's it. This 12.5, 13 crap, I don't get it. It's ridiculous. Way too high. I mean, you know, you'd think they were playing maybe Michigan or maybe, you know, Washington or some, you know, middle of the pack team. All right, this is the Teaser King. Please go to www.teaserking.com. I got my history posted. A nice line section. I found a new lines that list all the casinos. It's really good for pro and college. So check that out. Anyway, good luck. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. I'm here to make us money. All right, have a great day, everybody. Good luck on this weekend.